maintenance is something that could be enhanced.
다 된지 자원은 매번 소소도 모두 생각이 가라. 다 패지 유라면 애니 샘지를 해서 살때 디나는 지 패지 내가 전부 포인트 전부 시들 리그에서 봐. 자다 제니 주말로부로 와니다. 연대는 신 이든 칠세. 다 두지디 아니 주말디디 간다 가서 견전디디 루브를 주려 했어. 데루스를 했어. 연대디디 또서도 연대기 계약이 누버디 셈 코란도 레세베 때문에 유지하게 누버디 랑샤스요.
So through our reflections so far, we have arrived at a point where we can conceivably accept that the delusions, the afflictive emotions, and also their basis, which is the fundamental ignorance, is something that we can weaken in its force. But the question now remains whether it is possible at all to completely eliminate it, completely eradicate it, root it out from our mind or psyche. Here, I feel that perhaps reflecting upon sort of some of the points stated in Maitriya's Uttara Tantra, Sublime Continuum, may be very critical. According to that text, Uttara Tantra, there is an understanding that so far as the potential for knowing is concerned, it is something that is intrinsic to our consciousness. It is something that is inherent. It is something that is a natural quality of our mind. And whereas all the various afflictions of the mind, the pollutants, these are not really essential part of our mind. They are separable from our essential nature of mind. They are loburua, which means advantages. So when we talk about gaining gaining sort of perfect wisdom of the Buddha, we should not have a notion that we are in some sense sort of creating qualities that are not there from somewhere, from outside. Rather, we should see it more in terms of a potential that is being realized. So the pollutants of the mind comes in the way of the natural expression of the potential that is already inherent in our consciousness. So it is as if the capacity to know without obstruction is there in our consciousness or in our psyche, but it is the pollutants that afflicts our mind, which in some sense obscures or hinders our potential to express fully or be developed fully. So once our understanding of the nature of mind is informed by this concept of essential nature of mind as a mere pure luminosity and mere experience or the capacity to know, then by understanding that all the pollutants of the mind, the afflictions of the mind, are something that could be removed, then we can conceive the idea of the possibility of total eradication or elimination of these pollutants.
So
this is how one can sort of conceptualize the possibility of attaining moksha, how afflictions of the mind are capable to be removed, and how liberation can be attained or moksha could be attained. So in the scriptures, such moksha or state of liberation is characterized in terms of 4 qualities or 4 features. It is described as the true peace, because that is the state of total tranquility, where the individual has attained a total freedom from all the pollutants of the mind. And it's also described as it's totally satisfying, because you have reached, in some sense, ultimate satisfaction. And it is also described as the definite emergence. You have definitely emerged from the unenlightened process. Sorry, the first one is the cessation, yeah. So these are the four features, being cessation, which is the true cessation of all suffering and the continuum of afflictions, cessation, peace, true peace, totally satisfying, and definite emergence.
That is about third fundamental. If that kind of goal is something very possible, or then now we say how to achieve that. Now that question becomes very important.
So this takes us to the fourth noble truth, that is the true path. So when we talk about true paths, so when we talk about true paths leading to liberation or moksha, from the point of view of, according to the Madhyamaka explanation, true path should be understood in terms of a direct, intuitive realization of emptiness. That's the true path. And this is the path, this direct, intuitive realization of emptiness would directly lead to the attainment of cessation. But in order to attain such direct intuitive realization of emptiness, one must have the basis, which is sort of a single-pointed meditative experience, sort of experiential knowledge of emptiness. So when the individual attains that experiential, meditatively sort of, arisen sort of experiential knowledge of emptiness, that is said to be the beginning of, in the Buddhist sort of language, technical language, called the path of linking or path of preparation. And the point where individual has gained direct intuitive realization of emptiness is said to be the path of seeing. However, the experiential knowledge of emptiness derived from meditative practices, in turn, must be based on an initial intellectual, inferential understanding or cognition of emptiness. Without that, there is no possibility of attaining meditatively based experience of emptiness. So, and that initial stage of developing the inferential cognition of emptiness is part of what is known as the path of accumulation. And the real, I suppose, the threshold of the path of accumulation is the point where the the individual practitioner has gained a genuine aspiration to attain liberation, the moksha, that is the beginning of the path.
Di thirty ta di yongyage dimandro ngazo thirty di ta ngazo lama shuk nego ne